amazing year in boxing. We got Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez next. What's up, family? We back with another rumbling conversation.
Hold on, baby, hold on. It's such a long drop from this cliff, I hope you hold strong. I had my time and this is it, I took it so long. Please don't let me go.
Yo, so, you know what I mean? It's been an amazing year in boxing, right? We've been having so much amazing fights in boxing. And now the year just continued to keep going. This weekend we had the Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence fight. We had Terrence Crawford run away with the victory. You know what I mean? We see a lot of slogans for Errol Spence, but Terrence Crawford was the man of all the slogans. He put them in the dirt. It was scrap season. He made history. Undisputed champion, first undisputed male to make 2 divisions. Now we have another big fight coming up. We have Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. And this fight is definitely one for the ages. You know what I mean? We got 2 undisputed champions, bro. This is a huge year in boxing, and what's going on is just it never been done. Being a fan of boxing my whole entire life, I'm like ecstatic as a fan right now. I am the ultimate casual fan. You know what I mean? I'm ecstatic as a fan right now. Just understanding the different levels and the different concepts of what's going to happen inside this fight, it's incredible. And one thing that I can tell y'all with inside the boxing world that I think about the buzz around this fight is that a lot of people feel as though Jermell is moving up, and he's moving too much up, and his brother should have fought him, which is Jermall. Or a lot of people believe that Canelo Alvarez is cherry picking. A lot of people believe that Canelo Alvarez finally did the right thing and signed a 2-fight deal, or I think it's a 2 or 3 fight deal with Showtime, and he's finally going to start fighting competition and opponents that he's worthy of. You know, a lot of people say the last couple of opponents that he's been fighting haven't been up to par. You know what I mean? But to me, it's all about what do you like as a fan. I don't think that Canelo Alvarez was fighting opponents that wasn't up to par. I think Canelo Alvarez was fighting opponents that he felt as though was on his level and what he could achieve. You see what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like we see a lot of opponents, and you know why? Terrence Crawford changed my opinion about that. Terrence Crawford last night and what he did to Errol Spence changed my opinion about how I read opponents. And I always said this. I always say you shouldn't call guys bum. You shouldn't talk about somebody's resume. You shouldn't. But you know what I mean? Getting caught up with the big fight, getting caught up with Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, me being around this situation for years, ever since a long time, you know, 2008, 2012, and I'm seeing both of these fighters come up, Terrence Crawford in Top Rank, and I'm seeing Errol and PBC, and I'm watching all the opponents that they fighting. You get caught up with starting to understand that different opponents is on different levels, and I still believe that. I still believe that, but you know what I mean? When I watch a different opponent and I haven't heard of that opponent, I haven't seen that opponent, I'm going to take it in a little bit of consideration of who's the opponent is and how better he is. Because I truly believe that David Avanesia gave Terrence Crawford a better fight than Errol Spence did. And that was alarming to me. So when you start saying that Canelo Alvarez is not fighting different opponents, you know, I watch my mouth with that. You know, the only thing you can do as a fan of anything is sit back and learn. And I learned. This weekend taught me a lot about understanding boxing and saying certain things, you know what I mean? And I've been big on saying that certain fighters is not trash fighters or this or that, because I understand how it is. I understand how hard it is to get to that level. Like, you know, being a fan of boxing, watching boxing for years and years and years, I understand that how hard these guys go. I mean, to amateur ranks, through all this stuff that they go through just to get to that top tier level in boxing, and it only lasts for literally for a couple of months or maybe a couple years. You know what I mean? When you get to that top tier, then you always got somebody that's always ready to say that you're not as good as you are, right? You know what I mean? So that's definitely come with the territory. So I would not put that on Canelo Alvarez that he was fighting nobodies or he was doing that. Only thing I can say is that they wasn't the opponents that I wanted him to fight. See what I'm saying? So understanding that, the concept, and then bringing that into Jermell Charlo fight and watching the things that he's changing, because Canelo is very training. He wasn't at the fight this weekend. Jermell was, and I was happy to see that. Like, it's almost the end of the month. We're going into August. The fight is going to be, you know what I mean, in about like 8 weeks. You know what I mean? So you want to do a 12-week training camp. You know, should be like the second tier of the training camp, whereas though you're going into that second tier, because when you get to September, around the second week of September, you're going to start pushing it back. You're going to start slowing down and start doing stuff you should be in range and all that stuff, so you won't be overtraining. So I think that, you know what I mean, him not being at the fight this weekend spoke volumes. I mean, for me, like, it spoke volumes for me, because I was able to gauge him, like, oh my God, this guy's really out there training. So, you know, not saying nothing about Jermell being at the fight, but just saying that, like, you know, Canelo is focused. You know what I mean? And he's working on things like cardio. He's working on things that really can help him in this fight, and I think that will help him. So I'm telling you guys, more and more, I'm going to be dropping more videos about this fight, Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez, because I really believe that this is a super fight. And once when we start, more and more we get closer to this fight, and more you're going to see how much of a super fight this is, man. And you got two champions that's undisputed. You got two guys that's dogs, just like this fight this weekend. And you got two guys that is willing to hurt each other to win. So, you know, that's over and beyond. And I can't wait to see this fight, and I can't wait to see it in September. I think that's fight for me. That's the favorite time of fight, because it's like right before the holidays, and you know what I mean, you get that holiday treat. Everybody, kids went back to school, so you know what I mean, you just get certain things that you get to feel in the air, like, you know what I mean. So that September fight is very great, very good for cards, man. It's not too close to sending the kids back, so you don't have to worry about, you know, I mean, I gotta pay school, because that's my thing, you know what I mean, sending the kids back, paying for school clothes and all that stuff, and then having to pay for a fight that I want to watch. Like, that's like, oh man, I can't keep paying for stuff. But you know what I mean, I think that we definitely got a fight on our hands, a great fight. And a lot of people that was Errol Spence fans, you know, don't drop off boxing for this, you know what I mean? Because Errol Spence got another fight in him. Errol Spence could come back. And I think that the second trilogy fight is exciting too. So, you know, it's the sport of boxing. Your guy didn't win, you know, that's how the sport goes. That's why this sport is more unique than any other sport. So y'all, thank you for joining me with this great rumbling conversation, and we're gonna have a next one next time.
Hold on, baby, hold on. It's such a long drop from this cliff, I hope you hold strong. I had my time and this is it, I took it so long. Please don't let me go.